Welcome to Day Trading for Success, where the professor, a former math teacher turned full-time trader and coder, guides beginners on how to trade for a living using proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
In seeking the perfect trade entry, we need to talk about the Fibonacci ratio and the Fibonacci retracement tools. Let's break into a little bit about Fibonacci, whose full name was Leonardo of Pisa. He was a mathematician from Italy who lived during the Middle Ages around 1170 to 1250. And in 2002, he introduced the famous number pattern now called the Fibonacci sequence. I'm reading from my notes over here, guys. The sequence appears throughout nature, including the arrangement of flower petals, pine cones, sunflower seeds, and spiral shells. These patterns often follow the same mathematical proportions found in the Fibonacci numbers. Because of this, the sequence is often seen as a bridge between mathematics, nature, and natural growth patterns. So I always call it nature's mathematical formula. If you watch me trade live, you'll hear me refer to that or some of my educational things. So let's talk about what that sequence is and why it's important to traders. We'll go a little deeper into the notes. So the Fibonacci sequence, and you can look down here and read along with me, starting with the number 0, then adding the next number, which would be 1, then adding the two numbers together to get the next number. Here's an example. 0 plus 1 equals 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 2 equals 5, 5 plus 3 equals 8, and so on. And then here's your numbers, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, and going on and on and on. And that goes on forever. So now if we look a little deeper into that, and I have a retracement drawn here, and I'm going to show you how to draw it and how it's used by most intraday traders that are trading large and mega cap stocks or scalping or doing day trading or scalping. So basically, what do we do with those numbers? One of the most important relationships that emerges from the Fibonacci sequence is called the golden ratio, approximately 1.618. As Fibonacci numbers grow larger, dividing 1 by the previous number gets closer and closer to this value. These same proportions are used in trading through a tool called the Fibonacci Retracement tool right here on the chart. There's Fibonacci retracements. You can put that right on your chart on Thinkorswim, which measures how much of the price move has been pulled back before the trend continues. And we're going to talk about how there are different ways you can mark this in just a minute. So basically how we are arriving at the levels here, right? So basically, like I said, you divide one by the previous number gets you closer. So 5 divided by 3, 8 divided by 5. So you're taking these numbers, right? And you're dividing the number just that you started with, right? So 13 divided by 8. So you can see how it's getting closer and closer and closer to 16.18, and it's kind of hovers around that. And then from that, you're creating this relationship inside the Fibonacci sequence also produces several key ratios. When these ratios are converted into percentages, they become the levels used in the Fibonacci retracement tool on trading charts. And these are the common levels right here. 23.6, 38.2, 50% on this tool, but it's not technically a Fibonacci, but it's widely used. And then 61.8 and 78.6. So the 61.8 level represents a deep retracement of the measured price range. So even when applied to the high and the low of the intraday chart, traders often watch this level because markets frequently pause or react, giving back roughly 2/3 of a prior move. So that's an important level to watch, although when I trade and I set up the scalp and recoil or the RV strategy, I don't put a lot, much more importance on that, but really for large caps, it's something that should be talked about more. I didn't want to get overwhelming with my viewers, but I do know about it, and I do think about it if we start to hover near that. So typically, traders draw Fibonacci levels from the beginning of the price move to the end of the price move, either from the low to the high in an uptrend or from the high to the low in a downtrend. Always left to right, guys. The ratios that appear between those points, such as 38.2 and 61.8, are often watched as possible areas of support or resistance rather than predicting an exact turning point. Many traders simply use these levels as zones where price may pause, react, or reverse. And then finally here, Fibonacci levels are not magic numbers that force the market to reverse. Instead, they highlight areas where many traders are watching for a reaction because large numbers of traders and algorithms monitor these same levels. Price often slows, pauses, or reverses near them. For that reason, many traders use Fibonacci levels simply as support and resistance zones rather than the exact prediction points. Case in matter, that's what I show, support and resistance zones. So you can watch all kinds of videos and read all kinds of books about when a move is moving up or down on a short-term, higher highs and lower lows, how to use those Fibonacci levels. But what I'm going to show you today is how it can be much more simple than that when you're trading intraday. So I show trading large cap intraday stocks in my studio with the traders that trade here. And what we want to do to get a Fibonacci level correct is we need to shrink the time frame down to make sure those Fibonacci levels aren't so expansive we never see them. So they're always marked on a 10-day or a 2-day 5-minute chart. Some days we have to go down to 2 days because the price action has moved sharply in the last few days, and the Fibonacci levels will never be hit if it's gone a large amount down or a large amount up. So that's why 2 different levels are chosen. Again, that was first introduced in Day Trading Volume 1, and it's a very commonly used strategy to set up the retracement tools because you need to make sure they're going to come into play, or what's the point when you're trading. So in this example, NVIDIA, basically you can see it was snapped here, it was clicked here, left to right, dragged it down to the low. Now, what is going to be different than what you might be taught on other ways to use the tool, and they're usually designed for bigger moves, which is why you're going to go, hey, that's not what the other guy or gal said. That's not what my teacher told me, whatever, is that we need to shorten up the levels here. We need to make sure that it's working for intraday. And I just mentioned that again on the 10-day 5-minute chart. But you want the exact highs and lows of a trend. You don't want to start going into, where's the lower low and the high and pick a short-term trend here. Instead, we're marking those days from far enough back, right? Getting a 10-day back level. And then we're confident that these levels are going to be respected, and we're not just looking for a short-term trend. So although we're looking to shrink the data down by not using a huge time frame chart, we're also making sure that we're getting more support and resistance levels rather than just a short-term trend. So by capturing the high highs and the low lows, you're going to find that these levels are far more respected. So that's why it's always set, and it's easy to mark that way because you're not trying to figure out that on the chart. You're just basically going from the high to the low or the low to the high. So here you'll see we've done from the high to the low, and then it expanded up. So again, let me just get rid of this. I'm going to remove this drawing so you can see how to draw the Fibonacci. So you look over to the right to the price. I need the price to be at 49. So it's going to give me trouble lining it up, but I'm just going to get close. 46 down to 173.10. And those lined up perfectly before. So if they're not perfectly lined up, right, and we need the high of 203.49, so we just open that up and we can edit that 49, And rather than spend forever trying to find trying to get it to line up because it's so sensitive, sometimes it's better just to go into it. So then we need this to be 10. And then we just say, okay, now it's corrected. So that's how you draw a Fibonacci. I had left clicked, I dragged, and then when I was over it, left clicked again. And then it expanded all these levels that we just talked about. So now let's take a look at them. So here's where they were marked. So let's look past where they were marked to see how much is it helping us? How are these levels helping us? Well, it created what I call a channel right here between the 38.2 and the 23.6. Look at that channel that it worked in for almost 3 days, that you can see how many times. Look at that, perfectly tapping, rejecting, again, tapping, rejecting, coming up. Now it's not going to hit it right every time, and that's why often I want to reduce the size of the channel by getting other, because this is a $3.50 channel roughly. That'd be for short-term scalping or strike and recoil or the RV strategy. You want 25-cent, 50-cent channels. You're trying to get in and out. Now, you might want to trade differently with the RV strategy. Sometimes people go to $3 channels. It's just that you take a bigger chance to not take those profits. So I always try to shrink this down. But we're just talking about the fibs now, and you can see how these would really have helped you start to narrow down where you're going to trade, particularly this day. Look at it as we marked it here. So you had it spike and hit it right there immediately the next day as the market opened. It respected it. Okay, then it faded off, came back up, respected it, dropped, and it just moved around this level. So when you're watching, order flow and volume, other things that you'd watch to enter the perfect trade, this becomes a guideline, just a guideline to say, hey, we're in that area. We're probably going to stay in that area. Let's see what happens, So as you can see, this actually would have been very helpful on NVIDIA. As we get over here further away, it's not working quite as well, although there is quite a bit of consolidation right here. This is a 5-minute chart. Let's take a look at it on a 1-minute chart, okay? Here's a 1-minute chart, and this would have just been the day that we traded right here. So let me zoom in on this. So we definitely got some action here and some action here, and this is where you might want to add. So here's our channel, very, very wide for a 1-minute chart. So this is where you might want to add a 5-minute 2-day chart. Fibonacci retracement levels, just to see like, hey, how would we have gotten better channels? But really, you're using more of your VWAP here for sort of your ceiling, and this is your floor. But you really got some good trading here, respecting that level as we got later in the day, and then it wasn't all that great, except it didn't help you a lot unless you need to shrink down, what you're doing here. So let's get back to the 5-minute here. And we'll go into, let's go to Apple. I've marked these all up ahead of time. So here's Apple. Now, Apple isn't going to be as good because I took more recent data. So now we can't look to see how much did that help us in the past. So I can't get a good reading to tell you. But, this would have been, how would that have helped us? Well, not too much, because that's the opening of the market right there. So really, probably where we should have marked that is here. So let's correct that and see what happens here. Edit it. And what's our level here? I'm going to zoom in so we can see a little bit here. So if we wanted to mark the low there on this candle, our low was 257.25. So let's bring that up. And this is only because the data, we would have marked the fib before the market opened, so I should have caught that. Said okay, and now let's auto zoom out, and now we'll get a better look at how that might have helped us. So we're right in the middle of the action here from the previous day's low. Again, on the 5-minute, you can see how many times it's hitting it. So, they come in handy for sure. Let's take a look again on the 1-minute and see how that would have worked dynamically moving, and we would have gotten, look at that, total rejection right there. That's from the day before, guys. I didn't draw that line there, all right? So that's from the day before, and then you're getting a lot of action right around it. And then look how we can use the VWAP for our floor. And then this is our, more of our ceiling here. We broke out, came down. There's our floor. Here's our ceiling, how I've been showing you. So again, you're watching other things with order flow and your RSI and your ADX and your EMAs, and you're watching other things that would be on a chart. This is just a quick example of what we have here. Now let's go to something like Tesla. Sorry, about ate the mic there. So on Tesla, we've got enough days back. Now, we're in a really volatile time here, so the fact that this is working this well at all is pretty amazing because of the war going on and how fuel prices have just climbed, so high in a matter of a couple of days, and how it's affecting the market's just been crashing, certain stocks for sure. But look, mark back here, look at the amazing channel it gave us. Remember, I'm all about channel trading, and so that you can find your highs and lows to help support you. Just guidelines. That's what the Fib's doing. It's just giving you guidelines. Many, many areas that would have backed up what you're about to trade, like a backup plan, right? Let's see what that looks like on the 1 minute for Tesla, which is always a thrill to trade on the 1 minute, and see what we have here. So again, and using this VWAP would be very, very helpful as you're trading. We have one Fib line. I would definitely have done another Fibonacci level here. That's just the way I trade on a 2-day chart. But you can see we've got a nice wide channel here. It's basically $9, right? And that's big. So, but then you have another one up here. So this one isn't as big. Or no, that's the $9 one. Oh, wow, this one's even bigger, right? No, this is just the $4 one. So this would have been the better one to watch, right? But you can see I call that channel hopping. And again, we're going to get into historical data. In a way, Fibonacci is historical data for sure, but we're going to get into that a little bit deeper in the next video to show you how much that can help this type of situation where you're really getting your highs and your lows to go short off the high and long off the lows. We'll do one more stock here. Let's do AMD. Actually, why don't we go straight to the SPY? Let's go straight to the SPY to see how it helps the SPY, because I marked that out. So this is on the 1 minute. Let me switch back to the 5 minute. So here's our SPY, marked long ago. Look how amazingly it respected that level and this level. Marked long ago, guys. So you don't see the line coming down. So look at this. So this is why you want to take Fibonacci levels very seriously, because it is someplace the crowd trades. It is someplace where algorithms will look at and then react to it, that are pre-programmed in. So this is just common sense. And the argument would be not that you wouldn't mark them, but well, how are you marking them? He's marking them from high to low. If you're doing intraday, that's what you want to do. If you're doing day trading, you don't, longer, many days, or swing trading, you don't want to do it that way. You want to look at it where you're finding that trend, that last trend where it reversed, and mark that. And this isn't a video about that strategy. This is a video about large cap, mega cap, short-term scalping, and strike and recoil, I call it. Some people, the market might call it push and recoil. Some people might call it the dip. But we will go short or long. And that's why using these levels is so important for finding the perfect trade. You can see how much guidance this will give you. Again, look at how the Fib is helping us on the floors, like so perfectly, so, I mean, the VWAP and the Fib, I think one word and say another, but so forgive me if that happens throughout these chain of videos. Anyway, that's why this is so important, to find the perfect trade, the Fib levels.